pure artist, man. Like, she's a special artist. But then to have someone who, most importantly, when it comes to relationship, is just like, it's like equal yoke. Y'all can. Like, for me, it's one of them things where I found where I can, seeing her happy actually makes me really happy.
Hollywood thought Jennifer Hudson and Common were unshakable. Until now. From red carpet love to betrayal whispers, Jennifer just sent a message that could end Common's carefully crafted image. Let's uncover what really went down. The question now is, did Common just fumble one of the most powerful relationships of his career, or is this the ultimate PR stunt gone wrong? Let's break down the receipts, the whispers, and the shocking fallout. At first, this romance looked like a Hollywood dream. Two Chicago legends, both award-winning, both admired across industries. Common couldn't stop singing Jennifer's praises, calling her one of his greatest blessings, and saying they were equally yoked. Fans thought it was genuine, but some noticed his tone felt off. It wasn't always, "we are in love." Instead, it often sounded like, "look at how much I've grown to deserve her." That subtle difference planted seeds of doubt. Then came the night that flipped everything upside down. After the Grammy Awards, Common attended an exclusive LA after-party. Industry insiders claimed he spent much of the evening getting cozy with a tall model, definitely not Jennifer. Witnesses said he had his arm around her, laughing, whispering, and looking far too comfortable for someone supposedly in a committed relationship. The worst part? Jennifer didn't hear it from him. For Jennifer, this wasn't just about a man being seen with someone else. This was about public humiliation. She had worked hard to keep her dating life private since her split with David Otunga. Now, suddenly, her name was being dragged into gossip columns because of her own partner. And in Hollywood, image isn't just personal, it's currency. Jennifer is an EGOT winner, a daytime talk show host, and one of the most bankable names in the industry. Having your boyfriend linked to models in gossip headlines isn't just a heartbreak, it's a business problem. From that moment on, Jennifer began pulling away. Privately, she iced him out. Publicly, she shaded him with subtle moves, and the industry started buzzing. Her team made it clear she was focused on work and family, while Common's reps claimed the two were still friends and that the headlines were exaggerated. On paper, it looked like calm damage control. In reality, Jennifer's silent dominance was winning. She didn't sling mud, she didn't air dirty laundry. She let fans connect the dots while she kept her image spotless. Meanwhile, Common's approach backfired. His defensive tone and dismissive responses only fueled suspicion. And in the court of public opinion, the one who looks unbothered usually wins. The problem now is that nobody knows where they officially stand. There's been no breakup statement, no confirmation, just silence. That means every public sighting, every Instagram post, every interview clip is now being dissected by fans desperate for answers. Then came the blind item that nearly blew the story wide open. Rumors suggested that Common's new boo might actually be someone from Jennifer's own inner circle. If that's true, this isn't just a messy situation. It's betrayal at the highest level. Since that rumor dropped, Common has gone radio silent. No new interviews, no public appearances, no social media updates. For a man who usually thrives in front of cameras, the sudden quiet feels suspicious. Behind the scenes, PR insiders say brands tied to Common are monitoring the situation closely. It's one thing to get caught in romance drama, but it's another thing entirely when the person you're clashing with controls major daytime TV, has deep industry connections, and can pick up the phone to Oprah. That kind of influence makes Jennifer far more powerful in this narrative than Common. And now, the story has become bigger than just two people. Fans have already written the narrative. Jennifer Hudson is the wronged but classy queen, handling betrayal with silence and dignity. Common, on the other hand, is being painted as the charming but predictable guy who let history repeat itself. So the only question left is, did Common really just fumble the most high-profile relationship of his career? Or is this all just a storm in a teacup blown up by internet detectives? One thing's for sure, the next public move, whether it's a red carpet, a surprise duet, or another shady Instagram post, will tell us exactly where they stand. Jennifer's reaction wasn't just emotional, it was calculated. In Hollywood, silence can be louder than words, and Jennifer knows how to play the long game. Instead of messy interviews or angry posts, she shifted her focus back to her talk show, her music, and her career. By keeping her public image spotless, she let the whispers swirl around Common unchecked. Fans quickly noticed this contrast. Jennifer looked polished and unbothered, while Common looked defensive and cornered. In the world of celebrity PR, the one who appears calm and in control usually wins the battle. But what makes this situation even more explosive is the context of Jennifer's career right now. She's not just another celebrity caught up in a romance scandal, she's at the peak of her influence. With her talk show, her EGOT status, and her respected presence in both music and film, she has a level of power that few entertainers can match. When your name carries that much weight, an embarrassing headline isn't just gossip. It's a risk to multi-million-dollar contracts, sponsors, and partnerships. That's why Jennifer's team reportedly stepped in quickly, ensuring the narrative stayed focused on her professionalism while hinting at betrayal without spelling it out. Meanwhile, Common's sudden disappearance from the spotlight has only fueled speculation. For years, he's been comfortable in interviews, red carpets, and social media. But after these whispers began circulating, he went quiet. No posts, no public appearances, no words of reassurance to fans. To many, this silence looks less like maturity and more like guilt. It leaves fans filling in the blanks, and in an era of social media, those blanks are never filled with kindness. And let's not forget Common's past. He's been linked to high-profile women before. Serena Williams, Taraji P. Henson, Erykah Badu, and Tiffany Haddish, just to name a few. Each time the story ended the same way. Admiration at first, distance later, and eventually a breakup. What's striking about this whole situation is how differently Jennifer and Common have chosen to navigate the spotlight. Jennifer has always been careful with her personal life, especially after her split from David Otunga. She's built her career on talent, discipline, and a polished image, not tabloid headlines. Common, on the other hand, has often leaned into his relationships as part of his public persona. For years, he's been praised for his charm and openness about love. But when that openness starts looking like performance, it changes how fans perceive sincerity. And in this case, Jennifer's quiet strength is being contrasted with Common's need to keep talking. The whispers about Common's alleged cozy night at the after-party didn't just come out of thin air. Hollywood insiders know that in exclusive spaces like Delilah's, stories spread fast. Even when cameras aren't rolling, people talk. And those whispers eventually make their way into blogs, blind items, and gossip shows. For Jennifer, finding out through rumors instead of a direct conversation wasn't just disappointing, it was humiliating. Imagine hearing about your own partner's alleged betrayal not from him, but from the same headlines the public sees. That adds a layer of betrayal that fans have latched onto, fueling even more sympathy for her. And sympathy is something Jennifer doesn't even have to ask for. The public has rallied behind her almost immediately, painting her as the classy queen who knows her worth. Social media is filled with fans praising her silence, pointing out how she hasn't lashed out or stooped to pettiness. Instead, she continues hosting her talk show, performing and shining in her own lane. This has created an almost cinematic narrative. Another layer to this is the business side. Jennifer Hudson isn't just a singer or actress anymore. She's a brand. Daytime television relies heavily on trust, relatability, and respectability. Sponsors and networks invest millions into her show because she represents stability and influence. That means she cannot afford messy headlines tied to her name. Common's rumored actions put her in a position where her professional reputation could have taken a hit. Common's history of relationships has now become part of the discussion. Fans are pointing out that despite his charm and success, he has never managed to sustain a long-term public partnership. With Jennifer Hudson, many thought it would be different. Their shared Chicago roots, their mutual respect, and their impressive careers made them look like a power couple destined to last. The potential betrayal involving someone from Jennifer's inner circle has only made this situation darker. If the blind items are true, then this wasn't just a fling. It was a violation of trust on multiple levels. Not only would Jennifer feel betrayed by her partner, but also by someone close to her personally or professionally. That makes the situation less about romance and more about loyalty, respect, and power. Fans love a scandal, but they also know betrayal of this kind leaves scars that don't heal easily. At the end of the day, Jennifer doesn't even have to win this battle. By doing less, she has already done more. every public appearance she makes, every time she carries herself with elegance, she strengthens her narrative as the woman who rose above disrespect. With her talk show, her EGOT status, and her respected presence in both music and film, she has a level of power that few entertainers can match. When your name carries that much weight, an embarrassing headline isn't just gossip. It's a risk to multi-million-dollar contracts, sponsors, and partnerships. That's why Jennifer's team reportedly stepped in quickly, ensuring the narrative stayed focused on her professionalism while hinting at betrayal without spelling it out. Common's silence, meanwhile, feels heavy and uncharacteristic, almost like an admission without words. Whether or not they've truly split, the damage to his reputation is already underway. And the longer he waits to speak, the stronger Jennifer's position becomes in the eyes of the public.